let's look at this problem. In this problem, we assume that you have three kinds of loan, right? So you have a student loan, which is 20,000 at the rate of 6%, and you have a car loan, which is 15,000 at the rate of 6.5%, and you have home loan, which is 175K at the rate of 4.75% APR. And currently your income tax rate is 12%. So given this information, this question is asking what is the average cost of capital for you? In a way, what is the discount rate for you, right? So this question can be solved in three steps. So in step one, what you would do is you would find the percent of loan from each sources. All right, so that's each sources. That would be your step one. And in step two, you would find after tax cost of loan from each sources. So what I mean by after tax is basically student loan and home loan has some tax advantage. Whatever interest you pay for student loan and the home loan, you can deduct this interest paid from your tax return. Therefore, there is some tax advantage for your student loan and home loan. Therefore, it seems like you're paying 6% interest on a student loan. Since you can deduct the interest paid from your tax, you are not paying exactly 6%. It would be less than 6%. Similarly, home loan apply the same thing. But as far as the car loan is concerned, this is for the personal consumption, so the interest you pay on the car loan is not tax deductible. Therefore, before tax or after tax cost of car loan is going to be the same. Okay, so for student loan and the home loan, you need to find out after tax cost. And if you remember from my prior videos, after tax cost of loan equals to whatever your cost of loan times the 1 minus the tax rate. So in a way, if you multiply your cost of capital or cost of loan by 1 minus tax rate, that gives you the after tax. So that would be our second step. In the third step, what you would do is you have computed percent of loan from each sources, and after tax cost of each sources, then you put them all together and you find the weighted average of each source of capital. So we can solve this kind of problem in these three steps. So let me show you how we can do this. First, numerically here I'm going to show you, and after that I will also show you that how to do in Excel. So in the first step, you would find the percent of loan from each sources. So total loan in our case is 210K, and to find the percent of student loan, you divide 20,000 by 210,000, which would be 9.52%. For percent of car loan, it would be 15,000 over 210, which would be 7.14%. Similarly, for percent of home loan would be the home loan, which is 175,000 over 210. That gives us the 83.33%. So that would be our step one. In step two, you would find after tax cost from each sources. Remember, after tax cost of each source means the cost of capital times 1 minus tax rate if you can deduct the interest. So in order to compute after tax cost of student loan, you multiply this 6% by 1 minus the tax rate, which would be 5.28%. After tax cost of car loan would be the same because there is no tax benefit for the car loan, and after tax cost of home loan would that be 4.75% times 1 minus tax rate, which would be 3.48%. So that is the after tax cost of loan for each sources. And after that, what you would do is you put them all together and find the weighted average, and that would give us the cost of capital for you. And this is how you compute percent of student loan times after tax cost of student loan plus percent of car loan times after-tax cost of car loan plus percent of home loan times after-tax cost of home loan. So this is just the formula to compute the weighted average cost of capital for you. So you put them value right here and then you simplify, and that would give us 4.45%. So that's straightforward, but also I'm going to show how to do this in Excel. So remember how I organize information in Excel. If you remember how I do this, it makes you easy to solve similar problems. So this is how I would like to do. First, I would like to organize information as follow. Sources of capital in my first column, then after amount from each sources, and I'm going to calculate percent of loan from each sources, and the interest rate from each sources, and after tax from interest sources, and then multiply after tax cost of debt by this, and then finally find the variable cost of capital. So for example, the student loan is 20,000, right? So it's going to be 20,000. Similarly, your car loan is 15,000. And your home loan is 175,000, right? So that is your loan from each source, and you can sum this all, and that gives you your total loan amount. That would be your first step. And now we are going to compute percent of loan from each sources. So student loan 20,000 over 210, that gives us 9.52. Similarly, 15,000 over 210, that gives us the percent of loan from car loan. And finally, the home loan over total loan, that gives us the percent of home loan. That would be our first step, right? Compute the percent of loan from each sources. Now let's look at how much interest are you paying for student loan, which is 6%, right? And for your car loan, it is 6.5%. And for your home loan, it's 4.75%. So that's your given cost of capital. And now you need to compute after tax. For after tax car loan would be simply 6% times 1 minus the given tax rate, which is 12% right here. I'm going to calculate this, which is 5.28%. For your car loan, since you cannot deduct the interest you pay for your car loan from your tax return, therefore after tax will be the same as before tax. And for home loan, you need to multiply the before tax cost by 1 minus the tax rate. So that gives us the after tax cost from each sources. That is our step 2. And in step 3, what you would do is simply multiply proportion of your loan by the after tax, right? And once you do it for one, you can drag it, or you can do it individually. This weight of the car loan times after tax car loan, right? And similarly for the next one would be weight on the home loan times the after tax cost of home loan. So that is the multiplication, and if you sum this all, right, that would give us the weighted average cost of capital. So this is the way I like to do, and if you organize information as I have done in this Excel file, then computing WACC becomes more intuitive and simple, and I hope it makes sense. Thank you.